Hello everyone. So today let us continue learning listeners. Now in the previous video where I talked about listeners, I showed you how to get started, and basically I showed you how to basically capture different events like created issue, issue created, issue updated, issue resolved, right? And I told you that you can actually write a switch case in your code, or maybe a simple if condition if you prefer if. But I basically showed you how to, based on different events, how to capture those events and do something differently, right? Now, today I also want to do something similar, but this would be interesting because what I want to do today is show you, or maybe also talk about a little bit, this event called issue link created. Now, when you deal with events, or when you're working with listeners, when you want to do something based on something like issue creation, issue updation, most of those events are related to the issue, right? But there is also this event called as issue link created, which is of course related to issue, but it is basically, it is triggered when the issue link is created. And this could be super useful uh, for multiple reasons, and I will talk about those reasons. So let us say there is a new story, right, that you create. Let us create a new story and we'll call it as source story, right? Source story A, to be more clear or specific about it. And I'll click on the button. We have a new story. This is great, right? Now if I go back to the listener, I'll show you the listener which we had earlier. So I can also talk about and show you how this issue link created event works. So the listener that I have, where is the listener? Create listener. So this is the listener, and I can see that it has failed, but I'll talk about it. Don't worry. Don't you worry about it. So basically in the event of, and by the way, I think this was the previous script, and these are the events: issue created, issue updated, issue assigned, issue resolved, issue commented. So basically all these events are happening on the issue, right? And you can always start, or you can also always fetch the issue by doing this in your script, event.issue as mutable issue. So basically you are casting it, and you basically can use your own issue event, or not event but object, which you can get from the event.issue, and then you can do wonderful things on the issue. And let me save it, and let me also do one thing. Let us say you want to capture the event when the link is added. So people can go to more and they can click on the link, and they can obviously create a link to a different project. Let us say demo, a different project, right? And the moment you click on the link, if you go back to your listener and if you refresh, nothing will happen because this event is not really, or this event is actually captured somewhere. Let me just do it in the script directly so I can show you. So in the script, what we are doing is basically whenever you create a new link, right? And if in your link, I think I need to also include the component accessor class so that I can talk about it. So because there is an error, I don't really want any errors in my code. Import, come on, import com.atlassian.jira.component jira.component.component accessor. Okay, so this should be good. So let me save it. Let us create a new story. Let me get rid of this one. I'll delete this and I'll create a new story from scratch. So the story is test source story A, and we are going to create a new story quickly. Okay, so this is a new story. I'll go back to the listener and I'll look at the log. So nothing is wrong in this. We have the new story, or basically we have a new issue created event triggered. Now what will happen if you include this issue link created? We also have issue link deleted, but let us say issue link created. Now when you create a new issue link, this event.issue will not work, and let me show you. So if you go back And if you now click on the link, and if you try to add a new link here to this project, let us say demo, and if you go back to the listener and if you refresh, this will fail. And this will fail because it will talk about, I think it's probably going to talk about no such property, issue for class, blah, blah, blah. Basically, what the problem here is that because when we create a new link, the event will not really give you the actual issue. It will actually give you the issue link. And we can actually fix this. We can actually do something about it. And basically, it's not very difficult at all. Let me show you what we can do. So instead of doing this, I think it's probably better to just comment out all the lines. So we have a fresh script to work on. So basically what we will do now, we will work with the event. And because in this case, we are dealing with issue link created, that is actually an event. So you can say something like this. First, you have to cast the event. So you can say event is equal to event as issue link created event, right? And we might need to also import the class. Usually, the moment you select this, issue link created event, okay, the class is here. So basically now we have this event which will have your issue link. And if you know how issue links work, you can do something like this. Event dot, what shall we do? I think we can probably do something like, we need to basically get source and destination object. So basically if you look here, you can get the issue link, and then you can do something like dot source object, and let us define a variable for it. So we can say source issue, and similarly you can do something like get destination object. So define destination issue. So now, and again, if you're doing this like issue link create whatever, of course, then you have to check in your code whether the event is of type issue link created or issue created. Basically, you can check the event type as well. So you have to basically manage it in the code. Or if you are experienced like me, of course, then you will probably create a different listener. It's okay. I think when you're trying to create a script or when you're trying to use listeners, or whatever in Jira, using Scriptrunner for Jira, of course, even if you know stuff, try to keep it simple, not only for you, but also for other admins who might not be experienced like you. So I would probably create a separate listener, or maybe I'll add somewhere in the script the condition to check for the event type. Now, what we need to do now is, of course, let's just log this. Log.one, I think it will work. Log.one, warning, and source issue. And we can also do destination issue. So basically, if you go back to the code, or basically the issue, in this case, because we created a link from this issue to another issue, this is the source, and this demo is the destination. So let us do that. Delete. So basically what I'm trying to say in this video is that when you are capturing the issue link created event, you basically get in your event the issue link, and issue link will have source and destination, right? So let us do that one more time and link it to maybe demo 25 link. If you go back to the listener, hopefully it will not fail this time. Yes. And if you look at the log, you basically get SSP31 and demo 25. Now this is of course something very simple. It may seem very simple, but you can do a lot of wonderful things with this. And let me tell you what you can do. So basically what you can do is, and we will probably do it in a different video, maybe the next video. let us say there is a requirement, and it usually happens where you have an epic, right? And that epic is in a particular status, and that epic is basically for delivering a feature. Now, whenever you're dealing with delivering something or releasing something, you of course want to follow some process or cycle, right? Basically, you want to have like couple of rounds of testing, maybe on staging or whatever, or maybe you have like a release flow where you want to make that particular release ready for testing, ready for release, and you want to of course release it or do something, but maybe after a certain stage in the workflow, you don't really want people to add more issues to it. Now, of course, when you're dealing with epics, you can have, epic link, whatever, right? But many people actually use issue linking as well to link issues to another issue, right? So in that case, or maybe in any, maybe you have a use case where you don't really want people to add issue links. Now, the problem is, problem with Jira is that even if you're using behaviors only work on the create or transition screen or edit screen. You won't be able to use, or you won't be able to stop people from using the link option here. Although you can hide it from a fragment, which will work, but it will still not stop other users to link to this particular issue, right? It is very difficult. And there is a way to do it. Basically, what you can do, you can add a listener. So whenever you add a listener, whenever any other issue is linking to this issue. So basically, when source story A is the destination, you will still be able to figure out in your listener. So let me show you. So if I go to maybe demo 1, right? So if I link to SSP31, which is my issue, so let us do that. You will basically get in your log this demo 1 as source and that story as destination. So you have a way to figure out whether someone is linking their issues to this issue. Although you won't be able to stop, but you can figure out in your listener. And then what you can do, you can then in the listener maybe remove the link. If that happens, of course you can check right in your code, or you can add a comment. I mean, I prefer adding a comment for the reporter that you recently tried to add a link, but we are stopping you, or maybe consider removing it. So we can always because when you imagine that you add a link from demo 1 to SSP31 in your code, it will take literally like few lines. You can actually, I'll show you in a different video how to remove the link, and how to remove a link when the status of your story or whatever issue is something, or maybe there is a different field, because you can do that. Now, although you can do that, you can remove the link automatically, and in that case, whenever users will try to add a link, they will see a message here that yes, something happened, but the link they won't see the link here. So it can be against, it is not intuitive, right? So don't do it. It is better to just add a comment that this issue was added after that source or whatever issue was approved or ready for release. So indicate to your users that you're trying to do something really bad, or you have done something bad, but let them fix it instead of just having too many restrictions in Jira. And that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you found this video useful and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.